My name is Nora Alvarez. I'm 34 years old, and on a Sunday evening in early March at 6:42 p.m., I was sitting at my mother-in-law's dining table in Overland Park, Kansas, with my hands folded over a belly that was 9 weeks and 4 days pregnant, a belly no one outside this room was supposed to know about yet, when Diane stood up, tapped her wine glass with a butter knife, smiled directly at me, and announced my pregnancy to 23 people before I did. She didn't ask. She didn't stumble. She performed. Everyone, can I have your attention, please? Michael and Nora have news. Big news. We're going to be grandparents. The room erupted. Chairs scraped. My sister-in-law screamed. My husband Michael froze mid-sip, water glass halfway to his mouth, eyes locked on me, panicked, apologizing without moving his lips. Phones came out. Flash. Flash. Someone, Diane's sister, was already live on Facebook before I had exhaled. I was 9 weeks and 4 days pregnant, after 2 miscarriages in 14 months, after 4 rounds of letrozole that made my hands shake, after a hematoma at 7 weeks that sent us to the ER at 2 a.m. shaking so hard the triage nurse brought me a heated blanket I didn't ask for. My OB said wait until 12 weeks. 12 weeks. 3 words we had repeated to exactly 2 people, Michael and Diane, 3 nights earlier, in her kitchen, in a whisper, with my hands shaking around a decaf tea, saying, "Hey Mom, please don't tell anyone yet. Not until 12 weeks. Promise me." She promised. Hand over heart. Oh honey, of course. My lips are sealed. Her lips were sealed for 72 hours. Before I tell you what happened 19 days later, when Diane called me at 6:17 in the morning from a Wells Fargo parking lot, voice stripped thin, asking me what the certified letter on her doorstep meant, tell me something. What time is it where you are right now, and where are you watching from? I read every city. I always wonder how far a calm verdict travels, especially one that starts with someone else telling your news in your voice. People assume family betrayal is loud. With mothers-in-law like Diane, betrayal is perfumed. It arrives gift-wrapped, with a toast, with 23 witnesses and a Facebook Live that gets 87 comments before dessert. My name is Nora Alvarez, maiden name Nora Chen. I'm 34. I'm a senior credit risk analyst at a regional bank in Kansas City, which matters later, because numbers are how I survive feelings. Michael and I have been married 4 years and 7 months. We started trying at month 18. Month 22, first miscarriage, 8 weeks, blighted ovum, DNC on a Tuesday, back at work Thursday because PTO doesn't cover grief. Month 31, second miscarriage, 10 weeks, at home, on our bathroom floor, Michael holding my hand so tight I still remember the crease of his wedding band in my palm. After that, we stopped telling people we were trying. We stopped answering "When are you kids having kids" at holidays with jokes. We started answering with water. Just water. Smile. Sip. Change subject. Diane is 61. Widowed at 54 when Michael's dad, Tom, had a sudden cardiac event mowing the lawn in July. Realtor turned lifestyle stager, which in Overland Park means she stages model homes 3 weekends a month and spends the other 25 days curating a life on Facebook that looks solvent. She is charming in the way women who sell houses learn to be: warm handshake, direct eye contact, remembers your dog's name, forgets your boundaries 5 minutes later because boundaries don't close deals. I liked her, genuinely, for 3 years. She brought soup when I had the flu in 2022. She remembered my promotion to senior analyst before Michael did, because she reads LinkedIn like scripture. She is not a monster in movies. She is a specific, common type of danger, a woman who confuses access with authorship. If she knows a secret first, in her mind she owns the telling rights. 3 nights before that Sunday dinner, Michael and I sat at her kitchen island, quartz, white, veined gray, installed in 2021, financed, I later learned, at 22% APR through a store card she hid in a junk drawer, and told her, just her, quietly. 9 weeks. Strong heartbeat, 168. Small subchorionic hematoma, resolving. Doctor says cautiously optimistic. Please don't tell anyone. Not until 12 weeks. Please, Mom. She cried. Real tears. Hugged me so hard my ribs hurt. Oh, my sweet girl. My sweet, strong girl. I am so proud of you. My lips are sealed. Sealed, sealed, sealed. She even zipped her lips with her fingers, laughed, poured sparkling cider because, quote, we're celebrating for two now. 72 hours later, butter knife, wine glass, 23 people, Facebook Live. We're going to be grandparents. What the video, which, yes, I have saved, timestamped, downloaded before she could make it private at 11:40 that night after Michael called her, shaking, what the video shows is instructive. If you study micro-expressions the way risk analysts study payment velocity curves. At second 4, Diane looks directly at me before she speaks. Not at Michael. At me. Checking. Confirming I'm cornered. At second 7, as the room erupts, her eyes flick to her sister's phone, already recording, making sure the angle catches her face, not mine. At second 19, while people hug me over the table, patting a belly I hadn't chosen to offer yet, Diane is already reading comments aloud. Oh look, Linda says congratulations Grandma. Oh, Marcy says finally. Finally. As if my body were a project running late, and she the frustrated stakeholder. I smiled through all of it. Calm. The same smile I use when a loan applicant yells across my desk that a 580 credit score should qualify for prime rate because, quote, the system is rigged. I nodded. I accepted hugs. I answered, 9 weeks, yes, early, please keep it quiet, to 17 different relatives who already had push notifications from Facebook because Diane had tagged me before the pie was served. In the car home, Michael drove 10 under the speed limit with both hands at 10 and 2, a thing he does when he's furious and trying not to scare me. At a red light on Metcalf, he said, so quietly I almost missed it over the blinker, Nora. I'm so sorry. I told her. Explicitly. 3 times. I know, I said. My hands were on my belly, not protectively, diagnostically. Checking, still cramping? No. Spotting? No. Heart still hammering in my ears, but mine, not the baby's. I know you did. I'm going to call her tonight. I'm going to. No, I said. Not tonight. He looked at me. Nora. Not angry, I said, and I meant it, mostly. Calm. There's a difference. Let me be calm for 48 hours. Then I'll decide what a verdict looks like. He nodded. He trusts my calm. He should. It's how I caught a $40 million synthetic identity ring last March that 3 external auditors missed, by sitting quietly with a spreadsheet for 11 evenings until a pattern blinked. That night I did not cry. I opened my laptop. I opened a folder I already had, because credit risk analysts with boundary-violating mothers-in-law who suddenly renovate kitchens in 2021 keep folders, labeled D. Whitaker, observe. Diane Whitaker. 61. Widowed. Self-employed 1099, variable income. Homeowner, 1428, West 87th Terrace, Overland Park. Purchased 2007 with Tom, $312,000, refinanced 3 times, last cash out refi, 2021, $387,000 at 5.125%, 30-year fixed. Current estimated balance $361,000, Zillow estimate $415,000 to $438,000, thin equity, thinner after closing costs. I knew this already, vaguely, occupationally, because in 2023 Diane had asked me, casually, over lasagna, Nora honey, you're the numbers girl, what do you think about debt consolidation loans, hypothetically? Hypothetically in families always means specifically, urgently, and please don't tell Michael. I had run a soft, ethical, no-pull scenario then, out of curiosity and self-defense. What I found then was yellow. What I found at 11:14 p.m. on a Sunday in March, after my pregnancy was announced without my consent to 87 Facebook commenters, with the kind of calm focus that only comes after 2 miscarriages teach you that hysteria changes nothing and documentation changes everything, what I found was red. 3 credit cards, Capital One Spark $18,400 at 27.24% APR. Chase Slate $22,100 at 24.99%. Asynchrony Home Improvement Store Card $31,700 at 29.99%. Open June 2021. The Quartz Island month, plus a personal installment loan, $16,800 remaining. Lending Club. Originated to consolidate in 2023. Total unsecured revolving, $89,000 even. Minimum payments, aggregated, $2,740 a month. Reported income, 2023 Schedule C, which I had seen because in January, 2 months prior, Diane had texted me, panicked, "Nora, can you look at something tax quick, don't tell Michael." Reported net self-employment income, $41,200. Debt to income on unsecured revolving alone, north of 78%. Utilization, 94% across trade lines. 2 30-day lates in the last 8 months, Capital One, August and November, not yet 60-day, not yet charge-off, but the slope was clear to anyone trained to read slopes. There was more. A HELOC inquiry, hard pull, denied, February, debt to income too high. A pre-qualification mailer scan she'd forwarded me in January, is this predatory? Yes, Diane, 29% is predatory, that's why they mailed you. Predators smell blood at 680 FICO dropping. I sat back at 12:07 a.m., hands off the keyboard, hands on my belly again, check-in, still fine, still here, still 9 weeks 4 days, still my news, stolen, still my body, still mine. I did not text Diane. I did not post. I exported PDFs. I saved statements to a folder named Verdict, March. I emailed myself a time-stamped summary from my work secure email to my personal, BCC legal counsel alias I keep for exactly this kind of family finance overlap. Subject line, DW, observed financial distress, no action. Document only, 03/09. Then I slept. 6 hours, 22 minutes. Aura ring verified. Calm people sleep. Vengeful people refresh. For 19 days, nothing outward changed. I went to my 12-week appointment alone. Michael had a client site he couldn't move, saw the flicker, strong, 159, measuring right on time. Tech printed me 3 photos, I tucked them in my wallet behind my debit card, told no one knew. Not even my own mother in Fremont, because privacy, once stolen, becomes feral about who it trusts next. Diane texted 7 times in those 19 days. Voicemails, 2. All variations of, "Honey, are you mad at me? I was just so excited, you know how I get, grandma brain, come for dinner Sunday? I got that lemon cake you like." I replied once, day 9, 4 words, "We need to talk. Soon." She replied in 46 seconds, "Yes." Brunch? My treat. Love you Mama Bear, Sue Mama Bear. From the woman who announced my cub before I did. Day 19 was a Sunday again. Family dinner again. 23 people again, Diane's birthday, 62, at the same dining table in Overland Park, same Quartz Island I now knew cost $31,700 at 29.99% APR, same butter knife, same wine glasses. I arrived at 6:05, with Michael, with a small gift bag, inside, a framed 12-week ultrasound, matte black frame, $24.99 at Target, plus a sealed manila envelope, plain, no writing, and a calm that made Michael squeeze my hand twice in the car and whisper, "Nora, whatever you're about to do, I'm with you." I said, "I'm not about to do anything unkind. I'm about to return authorship." Dinner proceeded normally, which in the Whitaker family means loudly, with 3 simultaneous conversations and Diane narrating everyone's life updates before they can. And Jenny just got promoted, you tell them, Jenny, and did you hear about the Hendersons listing at 740, pie, lemon, my favorite, a peace offering with meringue. Diane stood, tapped her glass, butter knife, again, smiled directly at me, again. Before dessert, I just want to say how blessed I feel, surrounded by family, and especially our little miracle on the way, she gestured toward my belly. 12 weeks 2 days. Just starting to show under soft fabric. 22 sets of eyes turned. Phones lifted, her sister again, red record light blinking. I stood up, calmly, napkin folded, placed left of plate the way my mother taught me in Fremont 30 years ago, picked up the gift bag from the floor beside my chair, walked the 6 steps to Diane, kissed her cheek. She smelled like Chanel No. 5 and anxiety sweat, a combination I now associate, permanently, with stolen announcements, and said, clearly, into the room, into that red record light, in my normal, steady, credit risk analyst voice. Mom. Happy birthday. We love you. Before you announce anything else on my behalf, I have a gift, and I have a correction. Which would you like first? Silence spread outward from our end of the table like a drop of ink in water. Lovely, slow, total. Diane laughed, nervous, high. Oh honey, a correction? Are you? I handed her the framed ultrasound first. She gasped, real tears this time, maybe, hard to tell with Diane, she cries beautifully on cue, it's part of her staging skill set. Oh, Nora, 12 weeks. 12 weeks 2 days, I said. Strong heartbeat. Thank you for asking privately this time. A few people chuckled, uncomfortable, not sure if this was a bit. Then I handed her the manila envelope. Diane, I said, still calm, still at normal volume, still smiling, the exact smile from the will-reading videos I watch at 1 a.m. when I can't sleep after other people's betrayals. 3 months ago you asked me, in confidence, to look at, quote, a friend's debt consolidation options. Hypothetically. Do you remember? Her face changed. Not much. A millimeter tightening at the corners of her eyes. Realtors control faces for a living. Mothers-in-law who announce pregnancies control faces to survive. Nora, sweetheart, I don't think now is. I do, I said. Because 3 weeks ago you announced my pregnancy, at 9 weeks 4 days, after 2 losses, after explicitly promising, hand over heart, in your kitchen, lips sealed, to 23 people and 87 Facebook commenters. Before my own mother knew, before my OB cleared me, before I was ready. You authored my news. Tonight, with your permission, I'd like to author yours. Calmly. I did not open the envelope. She did, fingers shaking enough that the paper rattled, good microphones would catch that, and her sister's phone was absolutely still recording. I made sure of it. I had texted her sister at 6:02, please record tonight, important family moment. Love you, N. People who overshare will always overshare again if you frame it as help. Inside the envelope, 1 page. Not a stack to humiliate. 1 page. Top line, 18 points Calm Sans, Whitaker, Diane M. Observed unsecured debt summary, confidential, prepared March 9th. Below, for trade lines, balances, APRs, minimums, total, $89,000. Utilization, 94%. DTI, 78%. 2 recent 30-day lates. HELOC denial, February. Next to it, in 11 points gray, options discussed January 14th, declined to pursue NFCC nonprofit counseling, declined balance transfer, declined family transparency. At the bottom, handwritten by me that afternoon, in blue fountain pen, the same pen from my Candledesk journal photo, 3 lines. I will co-sign a 0%/18-month consolidation plus close all 4 revolving accounts plus enroll autopay plus NFCC budget course, if you issue a public correction. On March 2nd I announced Nora and Michael's pregnancy without their consent at 9 weeks, after promising not to. It was wrong. I apologize fully. Future updates come from them only. You never announce my body, my baby, my medical information again. Ever. Break it once, I withdraw, the $89,000 accelerates at 29.99%, and the bank, my bank, where I am a senior credit risk analyst, files as appropriate. N. Diane read. Color left her face in stages, forehead first, then cheeks, then lips, a perfect reverse blush I will remember for the rest of my life alongside the first ultrasound flicker. Her hands shook visibly now. The room was absolutely silent except the HVAC click and someone's Apple Watch pinging, probably a text, OMG what is happening, group chat exploding silently in 22 laps. She looked up at me. Eyes wet. Not performing now. Stripped. Nora, voice cracking, barely audible, you wouldn't. I already did, I said softly, so only she and Michael and the iPhone 6 inches away could hear clearly. 3 weeks ago you took my announcement. Tonight I'm offering you a refinance. Calm terms. Clear covenants. No public shaming, unless you choose that, by refusing. Your debt is not my gossip. It is your ledger. My pregnancy is not your content. It is my body. Boundaries, like loans, work best when written down, signed, and kept current. Sign by Friday at 5 p.m. Central. My office. Notary present. Or don't. Either way, I will never again let you announce me. I kissed her cheek again. Same spot. Same Chanel No. 5 and anxiety sweat. Happy birthday, Mom, I said. Dessert? No one ate the lemon pie. Not right away. 19 minutes later, in the powder room off the hall, the one with the coastal soap dispenser Diane bought at HomeGoods to stage her own bathroom for listing photos she never took, Vanessa, no, Diane and God, see? Even now families blur in my head when adrenaline crashes. Diane found me washing my hands, slowly, warm water, 20 seconds, nurse habit, and said, voice raw, stripped of realtor polish for the first time since I've known her. How long have you known about the numbers? Since January, I said, drying my hands on a monogrammed towel, DW, $22 at HomeGoods, probably on the Synchrony card at 29.99%. You asked me hypothetically. I answered precisely. You ignored precisely. Then you announced my baby imprecisely. Precision matters, Diane. In credit. In consent. In family. She nodded, staring at the faucet like it might offer a different answer. Are you going to tell Michael everything, the full? He knows I work in risk, I said. He doesn't know your balances. That's your story to tell. Or not. My offer stands until Friday 5 p.m. After that, the $89,000 continues compounding at a blended 26.8%, which is about $1,987 a month in interest alone. About what you net clearing a $340,000 listing after brokerage split and staging, about 2 listings a month just to tread water. You see why I worry, professionally, personally, maternally, because in about 7 months, if all goes well, which, knockwood, I knocked, gently, on the powder room doorframe. Old nurse superstition, you're going to be a grandmother, and grandmothers with $89,000 and 29% revolving debt and a house at 92% LTV do not make stable emergency contacts. She laughed, a wet, broken, real laugh, then covered her mouth, then cried, quietly, shoulders shaking, no audience except me and a coastal soap dispenser. I'm sorry, she whispered into her monogrammed hands. Nora, God, I'm sorry, about March 2nd, about everything, I was just so excited, I didn't think. I know, I said. Excitement without consent is still theft. You stole my announcement the same way those credit cards stole your equity, a little at a time, with beautiful packaging, until suddenly the balance is $89,000 and the minimums own your mornings. I am offering you a consolidation. For the debt. And for us. Same terms, close the revolving accounts that hurt you. Enroll in counseling. Autopay. Transparency. Sign it. She nodded, tears tracking through foundation, Estee Lauder Double Wear, shade 2W2 Rattan, $52 at Ulta, probably on the Capital One Spark at 27.24%. I know too much about this woman's finances now to unknow it, which is its own burden and its own power. Okay, she whispered. Okay. Yes. I'll sign. Friday. 5. Your office. I'll post the correction tonight. Take your time, I said. Draft it. Send it to me first. I'll redline it like a term sheet. Clear language. No, if I hurt anyone, name it. I announced Nora's pregnancy at 9 weeks without consent after promising not to. Accountability, like amortization, works best with specific numbers and dates. She actually laughed again through tears at that. God, you're terrifying when you're calm. No, Diane, I said, hand on the doorknob, other hand, instinctively, flat over my belly, 12 weeks 2 days, still private, still mine, still ours, I'm reliable when I'm calm. Terrifying is what happens when calm people finally stop waiting for loud people to do the right thing voluntarily. We walked back to the dining room together. 22 faces turned, phones down now, pie sweating gently under saran wrap, no one chewing. Michael stood instantly, chair scraping, eyes asking a full credit committee worth of questions in 0.8 seconds. I nodded, once. Small. Yes. Handled. Diane cleared her throat, no butter knife this time, just voice, small, real, family. Nora and Michael have something they'd like to share, properly, on their own terms, honey? She stepped back. Half a step. It looked like a mile. I looked at Michael. He looked at me. I felt the baby, not kick, too early, just presence, a warmth low in center, a calm verdict forming cell by cell, and I said, clearly, into a quiet room that finally belonged to me, hi everyone. I'm 12 weeks 2 days. Heartbeat strong. We're cautiously thrilled. We'd love your love. We'd love your patience. Updates come from us. Boundaries are how love stays safe. Thank you for being here. Now, who wants lemon pie? People exhaled all at once, like a labor and delivery room after a good push. Applause, soft, real this time, no Facebook Live read, that I could see, her sister had, bless her, finally put the phone down. Later, driving home, Metcalf again, 10 under, both hands 10 and 2, Michael reached over, found my hand, laced fingers, thumb stroking my knuckles exactly 3 times, our code since miscarriage 1, I'm here, and said, voice thick, you were, God, Nora, that was. Calm? I offered. Terrifyingly calm, he said, laughing wetly, then, quieter, thank you. For protecting us. Both of you. I put his hand, gently, on the small, firm, still secret to the world curve under my soft sweater. Hi, baby, I whispered, not to Michael. Welcome to a family with boundaries now. Took a while. Worth it. Here is my calm verdict. For anyone listening whose mother-in-law just announced your pregnancy at 9 weeks after 2 losses, with a butter knife and a Facebook Live and 87 comments saying finally. True strength is not measured by how loudly we confront at a dinner table, but by how precisely we prepare for 19 days in silence, with bank statements, with a 1-page term sheet, with a pen that writes in blue ink, and with a boundary delivered calmly enough that even the person who crossed it can hear it over the sound of their own justifications. The people who steal your announcements do not get to author your consequences. You do. With dates. With dollar amounts. With specific APRs. With love, yes, love, because the kindest thing you can do for a boundary crosser drowning in $89,000 at 29.99% is hand them a life raft with clear repayment terms attached, and say, sign here. Breathe. Start over. And never announce my body again. Keep learning. Keep documenting. Keep protecting what grows quietly inside you, a baby, a business, a boundary, because knowledge gives you clarity, and a calm, written, signed, notarized verdict gives you the power to rise without losing yourself, or your family, even when your mother-in-law tries to go live before you do. Regret is heavy. Especially $89,000 at 29.99%, compounding daily. A calm verdict, delivered at 7:42 p.m. over lemon pie no one eats right away, with a 1-page term sheet and a framed 12-week ultrasound sitting right next to it, that is heavier. I'm Nora Alvarez. I'm 34. I'm 12 weeks 2 days today. My mother-in-law announced my pregnancy before me. Then she learned about her $89,000 debt, from me, calmly, with footnotes. If this story found you mid-boundary, mid-pregnancy, mid-debt secret, tell me where you're watching from below, and what week you are. I read every city. I count every week with you. I'm calm verdict story. I'll see you in the next one.